Do I hear myself? I don't hear myself. That's not good. Oh, but wait, I'm an idiot.
No in a minute.
Oh,
Jacking into
I'm an
biomon.
idiot.
No in a minute.
Oh,
Jacking into
I'm an
biomon.
idiot. All right, should be working. I said I'm live, so I'm gonna share this out. Hello, hello, hello. Should be working. Should work. I'll just mute it. There we go. Let's see if anyone shows up since I am just impromptu doing this. Impromptu. Is that how you say it? Unpromptu. The hell was that? Let's see. All right, that is tweeted out. And oh, hey, see, I got people here. Oh, that's crazy. So you guys can hear me okay? Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. I just want to make sure. All right. What's to say? All right. I'm waiting a minute. Make sure people can hear me. Wait, is it frozen? Oh, you can't hear me. Good, 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 good. Yeah, I just randomly decided, you know what? I'm checking a text message right now. I apologize. I was like, you know what? I am just going to stream because I have not streamed in a long time and I really don't have anything to play. But, oh, well, I do have something to play, but I don't feel like playing anything. And, wait, damn, interviews. Oh, I know what this is. I know what that is. Okay. Yeah. So let me focus on this. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stream because I really don't feel like playing a game right now, but I really feel like talking about Cyberpunk 2077 and I feel like talking about E3 and just everything with that. And let me pause that, turn that off real quick. So this is literally me just saying, hey, let's just do this. I'm not prepared. I don't have a script. I don't really even know what the hell I'm really going to talk about. But I figured, hey, let's just throw it out on Twitter, see who shows up. So my week consisted of showing a lot of leg on Twitter. That's the term that we like to do when we want to get the attention of a particular developer or person. And I was being very non-subtle, or however the hell you say it, on Twitter. And I was like, look, I don't have an invite to go see Cyberpunk 2077 at E3, and I want one. That's pretty much what I did. And yeah, I think I made enough noise on Twitter and bugged enough people that yesterday I got that invite. Danny and Pete also got an invite, and I booked my appointment to go see Cyberpunk 2077 at E3. And if you're watching this on Twitch right now, you can see I got the 48-minute demo playing on the side. So last year, for anyone that's here that does not know, I got to go to an appointment. I went to like a 7 p.m. appointment or something crazy like that. And when I walked out, Danny had the great idea to film my reaction. So as I'm walking out, he's filming my reaction. Pete's there. One of the PR people that we work with was there. And I just gave my genuine reaction. And I think I said something like, you know, this was a cross between Deus Ex, Cowboy Bebop, and Blade Runner. I think that's pretty much what I said. And, you know, it was just my true reaction as I walked out. That whole video went viral. and ton of people, were liking it and retweeting it on Twitter. A whole bunch of people from CD Projekt Red that were at E3 at the time were liking it and were hitting us up. And, Danny and Pete did an interview like the next day with some people from CD Projekt Red, and they were talking about it then. It was just a real cool experience, a lot of fun. Arctic, you're asking what time? So I have the very last appointment they're going to show at E3. Because of my work commitments this year, I will really not be at E3, only in bits and pieces. I'll mostly be there probably Saturday, Sunday for all that stuff. I'll be there half day Monday, and Tuesday through Thursday, it's really TBD. So I just scheduled the very last appointment on Thursday for Cyberpunk 2077, and I will figure out a way, and I will be there to go see that demo. And I'm looking forward, like the community manager for Cyberpunk reached out. One of the PR people for CD Projekt Red reached out to me yesterday on Twitter and just said, hey, yeah, you can't wait to see you, some other employees, etc. So I'm really excited to see it. And for those of you that have already watched this 48-minute demo, this is very similar to what we got to see a year ago when we were at E3, and it just absolutely blew me away. This is, without a question, my most anticipated game in the next, let's say, 18 months that we're aware of, that I know I want to play, that I know I'm going to invest hundreds of hours into and just explore this world and just immerse myself in it. That's what I'm looking forward to the most, is just being able to get my hands on a controller or mouse and keyboard and just jump into this world like I did with The Witcher 3 from CD Projekt Red, and just invest into that world for years. I mean, it won't even be a one-time experience. I will replay this multiple times, just do different scenarios, the whole thing. I'm just very excited for it. So with that said, and please, if you're in the chat room, hey, feel free to chime in on the chat. I'm just randomly doing this. But, what am I looking forward to at E3 this year from Cyberpunk 2077? I think Sunday, myself, Danny, and Pete will go to that Xbox media briefing, and we're going to sit in that crowd, and either they open the show with it or it will be right smack dab in the middle of the show. I don't think they'll close the show with it this time, because I think they're going to do something either with Halo or Gears of War to close the show, would be my guess. Or they just close it with whatever Scarlet's going to be the hardware. So they'll show Cyberpunk 2077 at some point during the show. It'll be a nice on-stage demo. It'll look very impressive. Nice trailer. Everyone's going to get excited. I think someone from CD Projekt Red then comes out and they announce that this will be available spring 2020. And I see getting a message saying, what is your PC build looking like for Cyberpunk? Okay, my current PC build, if you're on this page right now, you can scroll down and see exactly what my build is right now. My CPU is a i7 4790K, and the GPU, I have 16 gigs of RAM, and the GPU that I have is a 1080 Ti. Ironically enough, because we're at the birthday, the 4-year anniversary of with The Witcher 3, which kind of signals when I built this PC. I built this PC originally for The Witcher 3. Same CPU in it, same memory in it, obviously everything, except the GPU. I originally had a 980. I then went to a 1080, and now I'm with the 1080 Ti. This will be the final iteration of this current PC. I don't plan to make any more upgrades to it. So with that said, when we talk about Cyberpunk, and the reason it's coming out, I say spring 2020, let's say anywhere between March and May of 2020 is when I'm expecting it to come out. I'm going to build a new PC at that point, because now we're looking at 5 years since I built my last PC, and it'll be time. It'll be time, upgrade to whatever. I'm just going to go latest and greatest with everything. I do not think I'll go Intel this time. I do think I'll go Ryzen. So I'll look at what the best bang for the buck is going to be, performance versus price, all that stuff for a Ryzen CPU. I'll probably go 32 gigs of RAM this time, DDR4. And GPU, I'm waiting to see what NVIDIA and AMD does for their next gen GPUs, because I'm not happy with the NVIDIA RTX line, just not. And to be frank, AMD's their Vega line, I'm not getting the quote unquote power performance out of them that I would want out of a single card. So what I'm looking for is something that will play Cyberpunk at max ultra settings, everything turned on, 4K and above 60 frames per second. Because at some point, as the technology continues to evolve, I'm going to invest in a G-Sync 4K monitor, and I'm going to want to push some high frames on that beyond just 60 frames. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like I said, I'm looking, pretty much a year from now to build that next PC. So I feel like that's going to be plenty of time. Technology is going to change during that. Obviously, with these new consoles coming out, PlayStation 5 and whatever Xbox the Scarlet's going to be, especially since both of them are using AMD, that's really going to push AMD, technology-wise, performance-wise into the future. So I definitely expect their gaming PC side of the house to really catch up to what Intel and NVIDIA has been doing here the past few years. So that's what I'm looking at. And I see Black Flash, you're running a 6700K, 16 gigs RAM, and a 1080. Yeah, I know you're balling. You're balling. You always got the latest and greatest. But back on Cyberpunk, man. I look at this world and I just look at the endless possibilities. Like I'm really basing it off of lessons learned from The Witcher 3. Because I look at it as they've now had 4 years of The Witcher 3 to learn, to iterate. Obviously, all the great DLC that's come out during that time for that game, that they've gotten their lessons learned on what works, what does not work, and then they can apply those lessons into what Cyberpunk is going to be. So I'm definitely expecting a fantastic cinematic story to come out of this. I'm expecting, just a robust amount of options when it comes to the RPG side of this, not just the gear that you're going to have, the weapons, the customizations, obviously all the cyber type components and hacking things that you're going to be able to do in this. I just expect the world to be, Night City to just be huge, going inside buildings, the various floors, just the things that you'll be able to explore in this world. I just think there's going to be so many things to do, just the side quests, everything that's going to be able to come with Cyberpunk 2077, and it is coming from what I consider one of the top 3 developers in the world right now, which again gets me very excited to know that they have taken their time with this. They are seemingly not rushing this, and they're getting it right. I know there's been some news recently. I know Jason Schreier, Kotaku, has had some things, and they actually, he interviewed basically the founder and the studio head over there at CD Projekt Red, and talked to those two gentlemen basically about crunch and just the way that works and them trying to create a better environment. Unfortunately, crunch is just a brutal reality of the gaming industry right now. It's very hard to avoid that. So I do assume there will be some crunch probably going on right now, especially if we're less than a year from this game coming out, to be able to get it right. I know there's been some rumblings about some development issues, things like that. We don't know. That's all rumor and speculation. We can only go by what the studio is telling us, and the proof will be in the pudding when this game actually does come out. Because I think if we look at the state of gaming, and now I'm kind of tangenting off because that's what I do, but if we kind of look at the state of gaming here over the past couple years, and just the difficulties that these developers have been having, especially with these huge projects like this and these games as a service, these looter shooter type games, these living, world games that they've been creating, that they're launching with problems, a lot of problems. See, people don't remember, Witcher 3 actually was not perfect when it launched. It had some issues, but CD Projekt Red jumped on it right away and got them patched out pretty quickly. So hopefully this game will launch with minimal issues to start off. At least I hope so. That's the hope. Just again, I have to say it. If you look at the struggles that Anthem has had here in the past few months, which has been very unfortunate, by the way, that they've had the struggles that they've had at launch, and it's an incomplete game, and now they're just scrambling to try and salvage it. As the population of that game continues to drop, we're at a point now, right, where there's just too many great games that are fighting for our attention, that we're going to waste our time on a game that's struggling. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? We're going to move on. We're going to play something better. I mean, when you got things like God of War that are out there, when you got things like Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, for me, The Division 2, Destiny, despite some of its struggles that it's had, obviously Fortnite is the juggernaut out there right now. Microsoft is gearing up right now, pun intended, with Gears 5 about to drop. Halo's going to drop next year. It's just, you look at the new Ghost Recon's going to come out. Watch Dogs 3 allegedly coming out this year. Assassin's Creed, Odyssey just made a huge comeback for that franchise. The last two iterations of Assassin's Creed, with Origins and now Odyssey. Dude, there's just all these awesome games. Not to mention just a smorgasbord of games that you're getting on the Switch right now. And we look at what they're doing, like with Mario Maker's coming out, Link Awakening's coming out. It's rumored we're going to get some kind of Metroid Prime remake trilogy thing that's coming. And it's just the virtual arcade. There's so many fantastic games right now that I am not going to waste my time on a broken game. I'm just not. I'm going to move on. I'm going to stop playing it. I'm going to go play something that actually respects my time and investment. You know what I mean? So, and I'm looking at the chat, and I'm doing this completely off script, by the way. So don't expect something all super organized. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here. So Chad is saying, I'll see the second one and start saving my bill for Cyberpunk. Yeah, and that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just in the process right now of just saving up. And then I figure, again, if they put a date on it, about a month or two before it'll launch, I'll actually start looking at prices on what I want to buy, spec everything out. I mean, I'm going into the next gen, my next PC build, expecting to have about $2,000 to play with. And then I'll go from there, and just that way I can look at parts and go to PC Part Picker, figure out, where I can get things from, and just slowly get the parts together so that, by the time Cyberpunk does come out, I can just have it built, ready to go, maybe a week or two before it launches, so I can tweak and test and make everything's where I want it to be. Going into the chat again. I wonder what the recommended PC stats are. I'm wondering too. And that'll be the interesting thing, because remember, Cyberpunk will be on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So it may not be very brutal. Like Witcher 3's, when it launched, was a little needy, but as we move forward, it's not so bad. Like right now, I can comfortably play The Witcher 3 on my 1080 Ti in 4K at 60 frames. So not bad. I do expect Cyberpunk to be a little more needy than that on PC, but we'll see. What else do we got here? I'm also expecting, and again, this is just me, I know nothing. I'm expecting CD Projekt Red to partner with AMD for Cyberpunk, because to me, I just think with AMD so focused right now on this next gen console, it just makes sense for this game, so they can kind of closely work together with them, so they can have a very tight knit and seamless experience, be it on the PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and whatever Xbox Scarlet's going to be. Let's see here. What else do we have? At work, we are going through some hardware upgrades and possibly migrants. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's going to be a fun year, man. It's going to be definitely a fun year for even just the rest of this year. It's going to be a fun year gaming, especially going into 2020, and obviously just next fall with the new consoles coming out. And Paris, I think you know something about Cyberpunk that we don't know yet. Cobra, let me tell you something. I wish I did. Trust me, I wish I knew something that you don't know. I know nothing. Like I said, this demo that's playing right now, you're seeing exactly what I got to see. I have not had any extensive conversations with anyone at CD Projekt Red at E3 last year, and everything has just been Twitter, fun stuff, since then. So no, trust me, I don't know anything. I wish I did. If I do, look, I'm just gonna be upfront in case anybody from CD Projekt Red ever sees this. Post E3, once they get into their marketing cycle and just the media blitz that they're going to do, and they're going to start letting the media, come to the studio, and they're going to have events, and they're going to show off the game more, and we're going to get our hands on it. I 1000% want to be a part of that process. That's just, I'm not even going to pretend that I don't, because I do. I want to be a part of that process. I want to be able to sit down with the developers of this game. I want to be able to talk about it, understand it more, and just be celebrate what I think is going to be one of the greatest games we've ever seen, because that's what I truly think it is. And you guys might not even remember, but Danny and I did interview CD Projekt Red right before The Witcher 3 came out. And that is one of the best interviews that I ever did, because I had so much fun. Again, I like to come into it prepared, had my questions ready to go. I knew what I wanted to talk about, and I know the developers appreciated that we're on point, knew what we wanted to discuss about the game. And it was a great experience. I actually should go try and dig that interview up and repost it and listen to it again. But I do remember at the time, I really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. And even I think like the next year at E3, I think it was when the year E3 that CD Projekt Red was showing off Gwent, and they had a meeting room set up where we get hands-on with Gwent. I just remember talking to some of the devs there, and they remember, just that. So it obviously went around the studio, and they appreciated the interview we did. So hopefully I get to do that again. Before I get completely off track here, I believe Cyberpunk will be a cross-gen game. I believe it will be as well, but here's what I think will happen. And again, I know nothing. Remember, PlayStation 5, they've already said will be backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. And you can just go ahead and guarantee that Scarlet will be backwards compatible with Xbox One games. So what I think will happen is it'll launch, like I said, let's just say May 2020. It'll launch May 2020. And then when Scarlet and PlayStation 5 come out, you're going to see CD Projekt Red come back out and say, we've now created an enhanced version of Cyberpunk 2077, and you can keep your current disc. You can play it on PlayStation 5, and now it's going to play it in 4K 60, all that stuff, or Scarlet, and it'll do all those things. So that would be my guess, that Xbox One or PlayStation 4 copy that you have of Cyberpunk will translate and take advantage of the new hardware when you get when those come out, most likely November of 2020. That would be my guess. I don't think you'll have to buy a second copy of Cyberpunk to be able to play it on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Scarlet. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for 2020 when it comes to these new consoles, just because from a hardware standpoint, it's going to bring console gamers that much closer to what we're able to experience on PC right now. I think what you'll see, because when they launch, those consoles will be so powerful and on par with where PC currently will be at the time, that it's going to be very hard to tell the difference between the two. But then, as time goes on, obviously console specs stay static. PC will continue to evolve, and you'll see PC somewhat pull away. So I'll say, and this is just kind of transitioning off of that a little bit, hey, if you're a console gamer, you don't play on PC. I mean, I will never tell anyone to go out and spend $1,500, $2,000 on a high-end gaming PC. I do think, like I'm looking at this Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro right now, fantastic gaming experiences on both of them right now. So just imagine what they'll be on what'll be probably the high-end version of Xbox Scarlet and PS5. It'll be fantastic. I mean, just the visual fidelity that you get, hopefully the frames per second that you're getting. I'm hoping we're getting away from 30 frames going into the next gen, where we can expect 60 frames to be a standard on a lot of these games. But I mean, yeah, I personally will stick with PC. I know I will get a PlayStation 5, obviously, because I'm going to play those exclusives. I don't know if I'll get Scarlet yet. I don't know. Right now, like I said, I have an Xbox One X. My son plays it on all the time. But with Xbox having such a push with Game Pass, and just, they're like, hey, we don't care what hardware you bring to the party. We just care that you subscribe. That's all they care about. They just care that they know they're going to get their $10 to $15 a month from you. That's all they care about. So all Halo Infinite, Gears 5, all these great games that are coming out on Xbox in the future, they're going to be on the PC. So there really isn't a reason for me to have to own an Xbox. Maybe I get one so my kids can play out on the family room. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not saying no to it, but I'm not saying yes either. But PlayStation 5, 100%. But just speaking on Xbox, I mean, I'm very excited for their future, because, just to be blunt about it, it seems like Xbox has gotten their shit together, these past few years. I remember going, and this was 2016, and this was the last Xbox Spring Showcase that they did. It was in San Francisco. I went up there with Poston, who used to be on Gamertag Radio. And I remember at that time, Phil Spencer got on stage and he talked to the group that was there, and he kind of just laid out their vision for Xbox. And we didn't know it at the time, but Xbox Play Anywhere got announced at E3 right after that year. And that was the vision, that it's not about limiting the Xbox games to a console. It's about Xbox being a quote unquote, a brand, an experience that you can share across multiple pieces of hardware. I mean, just look at what they're doing. You'll still have your console that you can put on your TV and play in your living room like we've been doing for the past 40 years. You'll also be able to play those games on a PC. You're going to be able to play them on a Switch. Don't think you're not, because that is happening. And with xCloud, you'll be able to play them on your phone or tablet, anywhere else. It's going to happen, because Microsoft doesn't care. They're not, look, if you look at Microsoft as a business right now, as a cloud business, That's what Office 365 is. That's what all their services now is. You subscribe to them. You don't just buy them one time off the shelf and you're done. It's a monthly recurrence that happens with them, and that's where they're taking gaming as well. And I'm all for it, to be honest with you, to know that I can just subscribe to Game Pass and I know all the latest and greatest Microsoft exclusive titles are going to be available to me, be it on the console, be it on the PC, or be it a cloud streaming. I'm all for it. We'll see at E3 what their vision is going to be for cloud streaming. Is there going to be an additional cost? Are they bundling it at Xbox Live? Are they making it part of Game Pass? We don't know yet, but we do know that cloud streaming is happening. It is a reality, and it's just to be expected at this point. Like I said, I will never treat cloud gaming as a primary driver for me to be a gamer, but I can see it as a supplement. I can see, especially with 5G and all that coming on our mobile devices, I can see me being on the train and being able, oh man, let me go in my inventory real quick on Halo Infinite, or let me just finish the side mission real quick. Boom, boom, boom. I can do it. Will it be the seamless experience that I can have when I'm sitting at home? No, it won't be. Just anyone thinking that's fooling themselves, but it can be close enough. And that's where it's great that we're seeing the competition come in on the cloud streaming side with Xbox, with Google, with Stadia. I mean, PlayStation obviously is PlayStation Now, and they're going to lean on the Azure infrastructure to be able to deliver that, to their player base as well. It's great, man. Competition is great. That's where innovation comes from. That's what drives the industry every time. So I'm very excited for it. Let me go back to some of these questions here real quick, because as you can see, I can just talk. I just talk all day. When I listen to an interview, I need to listen to an interview. Yeah, Arctic. I'm gonna go find that, because I honestly I think I want to listen to it too. And was it enhanced version, or maybe I'm talking about Cyberpunk? I'll get an Xbox Scarlet when Fat Kid Deal supposed to do it. So speaking of, shout out to Fat Kid Deal. So when I was looking, it was so funny when I was like, all right, I'm gonna get an Xbox One X, right? Because I knew my son wanted to play it, stuff like that. I literally tweeted at Fat Kids Deal. I was like, when you find one under this price, you holler at me and let me know. And I'll be damned, that's exactly what they did. Matter of fact, I saw them Fat Kid Deals. Right now, I think you can get one off of eBay for like $250 or something crazy like that. But that's what I did. I got a brand new Xbox One X. I guess it was a year ago, whenever it was, for $330 is what I got it for off of eBay. And yeah, it was a great deal. So shout out to them. And what's this? I'm looking forward to Microsoft Cloud Gaming Initiative. xCloud sounds interesting. Yep. Just talking about that. Yeah, Black Flag for next gen, PlayStation 5 and PC. And to be honest, again, if your wallet can afford it, that is the play. That is definitely the play to go. And in my opinion, the play to go to make sure you can experience everything is get a PlayStation 5, because we know their exclusive lineup is worth it alone to own that hardware. Get a PC with a Game Pass subscription. You're good on all your Xbox games. You still got a PC to experience all the third-party games on PC. And you get a Switch. Get a Switch, you're going to experience all Nintendo games. And maybe it's Switch version 2 or whatever the case may be in a year or two. But that's the play. If you can afford it, knock yourself out and do it. If I could only choose one, if gun to my head, I can only choose one. Again, let's just pretend that the money isn't the issue and that I'm just forced to choose one. I would get a PC for exactly what I was saying before. I'm getting all the Xbox games with Game Pass. I'm getting all the third-party games. And that way I can experience them in their highest fidelity possible. That's what I would do. If money is an issue and I could only afford just one console between the three, I'd probably get a PlayStation 5, because I still think their exclusive lineup is going to be worth the price of admission. And you're still going to be able to play all the third-party games on that as well. Yeah, you're going to miss out on the Xbox stuff. The one that honestly would hurt me would be missing out on Nintendo stuff, with everything that all the great lineup that Nintendo has. So one thing I was thinking of, because hey, what's going on, Pete? I was just saying, I think that CD Projekt Red is one of the 3 top developers in the world right now. Yes, and I'm going to name all 3. So, like I said, I think CD Projekt Red. I think Nintendo is number 1. Third is harder. And I'll probably get smacked upside the head for saying this, but I think the third one is Naughty Dog. I just do. I think Naughty Dog is the third one. If I had to round out the top 5, Bungie would be in there somewhere. I don't know who 5 would be. Could it, I'm a little biased. Do I think massive? Maybe. I don't know. They're close. They're definitely a top 10 development studio, but for sure that would be my top 3. Like I said, I would throw Bungie in there somewhere. Maybe massive. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I know like people say Rockstar, maybe Rockstar, something like that. But yeah. Oh, Uncharted 5. I think we will get another Uncharted. I don't think it's going to be Nathan Drake. I mean, voice actor's been very clear. He needs a break, well-deserved break. I think the spinoff they did was fantastic. I actually should go play it again. Maybe it features them, Claudia, and them again. I don't think it'll be Naughty Dog that does it, though. I think it'll be another Sony studio that does it. Again, when we talk Sony studios, like that's what I mean when we talk a top 10. I mean, obviously look at Insomniac, look at what Guerrilla Games has done recently, things like that. But I do think we'll get another Uncharted 5. It won't be at the launch of the PlayStation 5. I think the big launch game for PlayStation 5 is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn 2. We talked about it on the podcast already, but it just makes sense. I mean, if you look at the timetable from when Horizon Zero Dawn came out, the first one, along with was it Frozen Wilds, the DLC, the timetable adds up that by fall 2020, Guerrilla could have a sequel ready to go. I know the voice actress that was on that Star Wars game, and she was on the League. I forget her name. I'm being bad with names right now, but she kind of leaked something because she was involved in the first one, I believe, and it sounds like she's already doing some work for the sequel. So again, I expect PlayStation 5 to launch with Horizon Zero Dawn. It just makes sense. And then going back to the original thing, I think Uncharted 5 is probably a couple years after that. So probably in the 2022 range. That way there's been enough space. Uncharted's had a time to kind of rest, and then they can come back with just a full-blown game. It just makes sense. Speaking of just PlayStation, I know we talked about this on the podcast a little bit already. I'm expecting The Last of Us 2 to come out this year at the latest March of 2020, but I do think it'll be this year. I'm expecting Ghost of San Ysidro. I never forget how you say it, but the Ghost game that's coming from. Oh my God, their name is on the tip of my tongue. It's killing me. They did Sly and Cooper. Gosh darn it. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. They're in Seattle. I expect that game to be a spring game, and then I expect Death Stranding to actually launch with the PlayStation 5 and be a cross-generational. Sucker Punch. Thank you. God, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I expect that to launch with PlayStation 5, but it'll be playable on PlayStation 4. It'll be a cross-generational game, would be my guess. But then again, like I was saying previously, I do think Last of Us 2 and Ghosts of San Ysidro they'll launch on PlayStation 4, but you'll be able to play them on PlayStation 5 with some enhancements, so to speak. So yeah. That's kind of, how long have I been talking? I have no idea how long I've been talking. I've just been rambling. But let me see what else is in here. But I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. I honestly think I should do this more. I definitely know I don't hop on stream enough, just with work and everything that's been going on. But now that's starting to settle down. So I do think post E3, I'll be able to jump on more and hang out on stream and just kind of talk like this. F you, Pete. F you, Danny. I don't need you. Of course, I need those guys. But I mean, as you can see, I love to talk. So I can easily just come on here and just ramble forever. Yeah, see? 34 minutes. I just been talking for 34 minutes. This is freaking hilarious. But, I love this stuff, man. I love gaming. I love the discussion of it. I love the debate part of it. I love getting on Twitter and people get mad at me for my opinion about stuff. It's freaking great. Like, matter of fact, I give you a great example. I'll leave the raid matchmaking crap alone. I'll talk about Destiny real quick. So Destiny yesterday came out and said, Luke Smith came out and said that with the upcoming raid, the day one raid, they're going to implement a 24-hour basically cap on your power level. So depending on the encounter you're doing, doesn't matter what power level you're at. Like when you go into the raid, doesn't matter if you go in there at 720, you're going to be 700 as far as power level goes. And then when you get to the final encounter, no matter what, you're going to be capped at 720, I think is what they said, which is great because it gives everyone an equal playing field. And that was kind of the thing, like when they originally announced this day one raid, I said I was against it. And I remember Deej even reached out to me asking me why. And I was just like, look, man, we keep doing the same thing over and over with these raids. And just because you make it day one, that's really not fixing the problem of including everyone into the raid race, right? Because the hardcore people, they can sit and stash the bounties and the power engrams, do all this stuff. And I know they put a cap in, so the power engrams will go at 700, but you can still stash all your weekly bounties and all that stuff. And then, you know, when the game launches, when the new season launches, you quickly get leveled up and you're over leveled, ready to go. You're going to have the advantage over you know, little Johnny, who has to work his 9 to 5 and can't sit here and play Destiny all day, but would love to have a world first attempt, because whenever he raids, him and his buddies, they have fun. You know, now at least that somewhat solves that problem. So everyone's going to be equal playing field. You have enough time right now to get to 700. Everyone's going to be 700 technically when you're playing the raid on day one. And like I said, it just allows more balance with the game. It includes more people into Destiny, into playing the game, which is all that I was talking about. Because look, the world first, what has been the biggest bitch and complaint about everyone, the most people? It's catered to streamers. That's what they say. It's catered to the streamers and the YouTubers who it's literally their job to play the game. And that's not fair. Now, we can't say that, except for one thing. It launches on Tuesday. I still don't like that. I still think the raid should be a Saturday thing. At worst, Friday. At worst, Friday. You know, sure, you can schedule the time off, make sure you're ready to go if you truly want to do it. But if you do it on Saturday, now everybody can do it. Little Johnny, everyone, there's no excuse. No one's at work. You've had plenty of time. You know, the power level's balanced. You can jump in those first 24 hours with your crew and have a go at it. I think that's fair. It was interesting when I did say that on Twitter yesterday. Like I said, I was getting comments back and forth, but Deej commented again because I think I added him. I actually tagged him on the tweet. And he replied, and he was like, hey, you know, glad you're liking the changes that we're making. He was going, but I was thinking the new 6-player activity would solve your issue with community. You know what? I'm gonna pull it up because that's how pompous I am. That's how pompous and arrogant I am. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna find it real quick. Let me find it. That's not it. I am pompous and arrogant, and I want you to see what I said. So let's find it. Where is it? Gosh darn it. Am I going to find it? Oh, I think my wife is here and she's going to come in here. What the hell are you talking about? Okay. So he said to me, oh, well, good. Thanks. I was thinking that the new 6-player match-made activity in Opulence would satisfy your desire for greater community inclusion. If we solve the original problem too, it can be gravy. Great. That's all I'm saying, because it's like, yo, we've been playing this game since September of 2014. My math is bad, so we're about to hit the 5-year mark in September. They gotta do something else, man. I mean, it's getting a little, and I kind of went on a little tweet storm this morning about it too. It's getting a little rinse and repeaty for me right now, where I feel like we're doing a lot of the same things over with minor tweaks. And now that they're not with Activision, I would like to see them be bold and try something completely new this time. I don't see. Here's the thing. As much as I'm sitting there bitching and complaining about it, I don't think they can do it right now. I think it's Destiny 3. I think Destiny 3 is the true, you know, wipe the slate clean, let's start over, take a new approach with the franchise. I think that's when it happens. I'd even tweeted today, you know, whatever they're gonna do with Season of Opulence, fine. What do they do in September? Are we getting a big expansion? Are they just gonna do another annual pass with live updates, things like that? Because if you really look at it, they have about 15 months from right now. They got about 15 months of dead air, you know, where that they got to fill. So what do you do? Because I do believe Destiny 3 is going to be September 2020. So what do? Do you keep doing the expansion thing, dedicate resources? Because remember, they don't have Activision now, so you're not going to have the help of the other studios. But I do believe Vicarious Visions, the rumor anyways, has helped them. Their final thing was to help with whatever's coming right after Opulence. But here nor there, I do think they need to... let me rephrase this. What I would like to see is no expansion, do another annual pass, just do live updates to just keep the current meta going, and just be upfront. Look, we're going all in on Destiny 3, so we're kind of going to go a little dark here for the next year over Destiny 2. We'll continue to do fun events, things like that, but we're not going to make too many drastic changes beyond this. Maybe we'll throw in one more raid in the spring or something like that and be done. And just be like, look, Destiny 3 is our baby. That's where the studio is headed. We need more time. We need all the resources we can get to make that reality happen. And look, I'll be back in September. I'll probably still play Destiny 2 here and there throughout that 12 to 15 month period. But that's okay, because it's like, you know what? We had a hell of a freaking run with the current Destiny right now. Matter of fact, again, because I'm arrogant, let me pull it up. Again, where is it? Okay, here it is. No, I just lost it. I just had it. Gosh darn. Okay, here we go. So again, just with the division raid and all that, we're just talking raid stuff. It made me think yesterday. I was like, hey, I wonder how much time investment I've actually had in a raid. What are my statistics in a raid? In a Destiny raid, that is. So I looked it up between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. Since September 2014 until now, I have played a total of 346 hours in Destiny raids. I have 91 total clears. I have 30 clears between hard and prestige modes. And the most time I've ever spent in a raid was Wrath of the Machine. And that's in just one raid. The most time I've spent is Wrath of the Machine, 3 days and 9 hours. And second behind that was King's Fall, and that was like 3 days and 4 hours, something like that. So those two raids were the most raids I've played out of all of them. And you know, and I guarantee you that's probably middle of the pack from the hardcore audience. I know I'm nowhere near the top when it comes to that stuff, but hey, not bad when I play a ton of other games. Obviously I got a full-time job, I got a family, I got all these other things, but you know, I feel like I paid my dues in Destiny. I feel like I've played it enough, and that's just raids. I know I'm closer to 2,000 hours overall, but I've paid my dues in this franchise, and you know, I've been very upfront about how much I like it, and I want it to succeed. Like I said, one of my big bucket list items ever was to go to Bungie, go to that studio, and be able to see it. Something I'll never forget. So yeah, but I do want to see the game evolve. I do want to see it do things beyond what we've already seen. And I feel like right now, outside of what we got with Gambit, and I know they did Dreaming City, obviously, for Forsaken, those were great, but there's still a lot more. They could do a lot more in the RPG side with Destiny. Let's just put it that way. They got to figure out PvP right now, because it's just not fun to play. It's not. I mean, Gambit still has its appeal, but just, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like I'm starting to rant a little bit now. Let me look at a couple more questions and I'll get out of here. Excuse me. So, as much as I cheer for my rain, see something magical about when they're won by a group of German truck drivers. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Killzilla. He's just saying that where he loves rooting for his favorite raid team, but then, you know, world's first won by a group of German truck drivers. Exactly. I think that skill requires more players to play rather than skill, just dominate a hard game. Exactly. I don't know. Pete just said good. I don't know what that means. Good to you too. Can do whatever they want as long as they own the IP. Yeah. Am I saying this right? Ruru 2? Yeah, Bungie owns Destiny outright. Activision, they've completely cut ties with Activision. Activision has zero say in anything they do at this point. So that's not even a factor for them. What else do we got here? Yeah, Pete's just explaining that. Similar they should have done with Halo. Yeah, don't even get me started. I'll end this with Halo really quick, and then I'll get out of here. Oh, look, the demo's ending. Let's start again. Here we go. Wow, so I really have been talking a long time. But yeah, with Halo, I'm actually very excited to see what 343 has in store for Halo Infinite. I'm expecting it to be some type of open world game. I'm expecting some kind of robust co-op experience, but at the same time, you're going to be able to play solo and experience that Master Chief Cortana story that we all crave and love. I'm expecting something unique with the multiplayer that they can iterate on top of what they built for Halo 5 with Warzone. But, you know, they've taken their time. Because, look, let's just be honest. Halo 5 was almost cursed, was a disaster. Just wasn't a good game at all. They know it. We know it. That's why they've taken their time now to fix that issue and deliver something that actually deserves the title of being Halo. And I'm very excited for that. So, I know Bonnie Ross is going to get on that stage at E3. They're going to give us more information about Halo Infinite, and we could probably expect it fall 2020. You know what I mean? Across Xbox One, Scarlet, PC, ColecoVision, and every damn place else they can put it. And I'm looking forward to it. Very excited. I know absolutely nothing about it, and that's great. I want Halo to be great. I mean, that was the game that convinced me that first-person shooters can work on a console. Shout out to GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, but Halo was the one where we got that multiplayer, doing the LAN parties and all that, doing the oh my God, now I'm forgetting the thing we used to do to cheat with. God darn it, my memory's getting bad. I'm getting old. What was it called? Someone in the chat help me. It was called something that we used to use to be able to basically trick the original Xbox into thinking it was a LAN, but really you were playing over the internet. Oh man, gosh darn it. No, it wasn't Xbox Connect. God, oh man, I gotta find it. Now, I'm Googling it real time. Halo and internet. Okay, what is it called? X-Link. That's it. X-Link Kai. That's it. I found it. It was called X-Link Kai. Gosh darn it. I had to find that. It was going to drive me nuts because that was my first online experience with Halo. I'm just dropping the chat super quick. That's the wiki for it. Yeah. It was X-Link Kai. But yeah, man, that's how you basically tricked your Xbox into thinking it was on a LAN, but it basically would proxy it out onto the internet, and then you could play against other people, and there was a way to connect and all that stuff. I remember back in the day doing that. So awesome. And then, obviously you had HBO, Halo, what was it, halo.bungie.org or something like that, Claude, all those guys, just all the LAN party things that he, was creating and doing and working close with Bungie. Got to meet him a few times. I remember I even went to a Halo 3 launch event up there on the Xbox campus up there in Redmond, and Claude was up there with us, and he rode from the airport. I had to rent a car. He rode from the airport in the trunk of my car because we didn't have any room. That'll always be a memory I have of him, but he was a real good guy, and just early days of Bungie, just awesome time back then. And I want those times again with Halo. I'll never forget, getting my copy of Halo 2 at midnight and running home and just playing online, and just how magical that was. Just, the party system that they had for, built for Xbox Live. Because think about it. We owe Bungie where we are right now with modern online gaming. I know some people probably don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. It was them working with Microsoft on Xbox Live, what made Xbox Live what it was. And Xbox Live is the OG online service for a console. It is still the king, and it's still the best, and all it roots goes back to Halo 2. I'll never forget that. But yeah, so I'm rambling a little bit now, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. I really do. Like I said, I want to start doing this more. Want to have some more of these conversations on here, and obviously give way more heads up than I did this time. So, we get more people in here, get a little more interactive. My YouTube channel, I'm going to start putting more content back up there. I have a ton of unboxings to do that I need to do. So I got to start get cracking on that, and just, do some reviews and stuff on that. Definitely capturing more gameplay footage, doing some voiceovers for that stuff, putting on the YouTube channel, obviously streaming some stuff live on here as well. So exciting time. Like I said, just want to get through E3, get through some big time work commitments that I have during that time of E3. So once I get on the other side of that, I'll be able to commit more time to doing this stuff. So really excited for it. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Arctic. You've always been awesome being a moderator here. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Pete, hopping on. Shout out. This has been good, and I definitely want to do it more. And I literally just talked for how long did I talk? What do you do? Uptime? Is that how you do it? Is it uptime? How do you do that? I don't even know. See, this I don't even know about streaming. How do you do it? Let me see. Is it like this? Uptime? I don't know what I'm doing. Whoops. What'd I do? Is that it? No. Stream uptime. Yeah, I did do it. I'm smart. All right, great. Wow. Yeah, I was on here for 50 minutes. That's crazy. So anyways, I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I will not be on the Sunday recording. I'm doing some family stuff for Memorial Day weekend, so I will not be around. But Danny and Pete will have a replacement for me that I think you guys will truly enjoy. And a little secret, it'll be a lot about Nintendo, so that'll be cool. But again, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Really appreciate it, and see you soon.